Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League's Chaos Cup. We're in week number 4. We're finishing up our third game of our triple header tonight. It's going to be a really fun one. Tonight, we're going to have Philosophers Song versus Conspicuous Disunion, Spire versus Chime, Lizards versus Necro. Let's take a look at these two teams. We have the home team here, Philosophers Song, coming in a TV of 980,000 gold. They have 11 players on the roster, but they're not starting with 2 of their Sauruses. They have all 6 Sauruses on the roster. 2 are injured tonight. Hume has a broken ankle. Schlegel's out with an injury this week as well. They have to be filled in with Journeymen. Those Journeymen are going to be skinks. Lots of skinks on this roster. They're very fast. They have dodge, but they're very weak with a strength of 2 and very brittle with an AV of 8+. They're going to be up against this Necro team tonight. Conspicuous Disunion, coached by Chime. They have full 11 players on the roster. That's a TV of 1,050,000 gold. That's 50K in petty cash that will be going back to Conspicuous Disunion tonight. That may very well be a cake. We'll see what Chime decides to do with that. Has the 2 flesh golems, has 2 werewolves, 2 wraiths, and a bunch of zombies. No ghouls on this roster, just the 2 werewolves. Watch out for these 2 players right here. These are the ones to watch out for. Very, very potent pieces with an MA of 8, with Claw, with Frenzy against this Saurus team. But with a lot of skinks on the roster with an MA of 8, they can catch a werewolf. And if Spire can take out a werewolf, they'll be in great shape. If they can take out both, it's all but guaranteed win. These are the only 2 ball carriers on this Necro team. These Wraiths can be a nuisance as well. The Flesh Golems are great pieces with strength of 4. Oddly enough, I think the Necro team has the strength advantage this evening, and that's just an odd thing to say against this Lizard team. It's very unfortunate that they're losing 2 of their that the Lizard team's losing 2 of their Sauruses, but they do have 3 players with the block skill. That's very powerful. They have a Skink who's a blodger. That's an excellent ball carrier. That's an excellent blitzer. That's a nuisance piece. And with a lot of Skinks on your roster, you might even be inclined to foul with one, right? They're very, very fast. If you get a knockdown on a werewolf, maybe you throw a Skink out there to foul the werewolf. All right, we're going to get this game underway here in just a moment. This game is a Division B matchup. Spire currently in first place with a record of 2-1-0. Chime, Conspicuous Disunion, looking for their first win in this competition. Still early in the season, and we're still in the first half of the competition, in fact. And it's a cut to top 8 instead of a top 4. So you have a lot of opportunity to make the cut now this season in this competition. Indeed, in all 3 open competitions this season. All right, we'll see if we get clear skies 3 games in a row. We do. 50K going to the Necro team. They've got to keep their werewolves alive. The Lizard team has a ton of skinks on the roster. Not a lot of strength. They're going to have to find a way to keep their Sauruses mobile enough to I love this pitch. To reposition these Sauruses so they can stay in the drive. Very easy to lock down a Saurus. They have very poor agility of 5+. The same coach coaching both teams. Blue versus pink. Lots of money. Oh, it's snowing! It's snowing! Lots of money for the coaches tonight. You know what that means. Don't try to rush. Don't you dare. So here you can see in a blizzard, it's a -1 to the rushes. So rushes are going to fail on a 1 or a 2. Passing game also gets reduced to a quick pass. Philosopher's Song will be on defense to start. Bad Dog demanding death. I think you might get it tonight. Conspicuous Union chooses to be on offense here, so the Lizards setting up their defense. You can see the 2 Journeyman Skinks on this roster. There's 2 invisible Sauruses. What sort of 40K tech is this? 2 invisible Sauruses on the roster. Hank the Ranger says snow's not going to be good for the reptiles. Indeed. Indeed. Not so good for those wolves either. Oh, there they are. They've reappeared. They've reappeared. Three on the line for the defense. 3 skinks in the secondary. 2 wide in either wide zone for the defense. The offense now putting 4 on the line currently. Those 2 flesh columns with the strength of 4. Sauruses with the strength of 4 as well. The Black Knight, Mr. Wickles, the number 13 werewolf, back to receive to start this game. 7 on the line for the offense now. He picked up a keg. Keg's 50k. It makes his KOs a 3+ instead of a 4. Oh! Get out of town! Just a brief blizzard. Just a mild blizzard. We're back to clear skies. Turn 1 for Conspicuous Disunion. Ball kicked to the 18-yard line over on the left wide, on the left sideline. En route praying to Nuffle. 2-9 block to get things started here on the line. Gets a push. Cosgood creeps on the block. This is the Wraith. The Wraith have no hands. They can't be the ball carriers. But they do have block, sidestep, and foul appearance. One die block on Heidecker. This is the left defensive end here. Gets a push out of this. Bad Dog says, great job by the field crew. You wouldn't know there was a blizzard mere seconds ago. They did a fantastic job. They are professionals. Hank the Ranger says, I thought for a second they might be chameleon sauruses. Wouldn't that be terrifying? They're just straight up predators. So we talked about, briefly, we talked about the downside with having all these skinks. It's the low strength. Here's the armor break on the Saurus. And it is! You think you have a 10+ AV, but not when you're up against a werewolf with claws. Good doctor, wow. All of tonight's doctors are just being, I was going to say being good doctors. Doing their job well. 1-man player advantage for Conspicuous Disunion. Oh no, they're gonna, oh boy. Didn't spend the reroll. It was a 3/8 chance of that ball going off the pitch, and then who knows what would happen. But with just 2 rerolls, puts his faith in Nuffle. Oh! Double skulls for Philosopher's Slug. They're down to 1 reroll right from the jump. They'll get a power on the Witch Doctor here. This is the left tackle for the offense. And the Werewolf with Claw treats everybody's AV as if it's an 8+. Has Frenzy as well, so getting a lot of dice on the block, provided they don't find themselves in a Frenzy trap. Two-die blitz by Socrates. Gets a knockdown on the Werewolf. Going after the Werewolf as you should. Socrates the blodger on this roster. Well, Gamer Mike says, the game today was the first time I did not fail 70% of my pickups. Hooray! So, but the advantage of having all these skinks on this roster is you have a ton of MA8 players. You could put pressure on the ball very early. You could put pressure on an offense very quickly. You can reposition your players to where they need to be, no problem. A mark taken on the right side of the offense. Minor 49er marked by Wittgenstein, the number 4 Saurus blocker with the block skill. Failed dodge has the free dodge reroll. Gets through the first one, dodges the second time, spends the team reroll here. Fails the second dodge, trying to apply pressure with Aristotle. That'll be a turnover. I think that's the final reroll for Conspicuous Disunion. They have no more rerolls left for the half. Not Conspicuous Disunion. For Philosopher's Song. No more rerolls left for the half. Conspicuous Disunion now in turn 2. Chime, the league runner-up last season, lost to Nick Satan. Two-die block against the number 6 Journeyman. Gets a push. Frenzy follow-up. 8+ breaks armor. No armor break. One die block against Heidegger gets the knockdown here. Cuthbert crawls on the block. And now one die against the Crocs. This is a skull. Spends the reroll into a push. Now Conspicuous Disunion down to 1 reroll for the half. We didn't talk about this in the 2-minute pregame we had, but having just the 2 rerolls, that's another angle you can take against your opponent. You can try to force them into positions where maybe they have to spend a reroll and they don't want to, or you goad them into a reroll when maybe they shouldn't or don't want to. And then once they're down to 1 reroll, it's a lot easier to manage your expectations with their probabilities, because in this version of the game, you can spend multiple team rerolls in a turn. You just can't spend multiple on the same die pool, and so you can make big plays when you have 2, 3, 4 rerolls. Turn 2, back to Philosopher's Song. No rerolls left in the half. It's turn 2. An unfortunate series of events. Rolled double skulls to start turn 1. Failed 2 dodges in turn 1 as well. 2-die block against Witkins, or against Minor 49er. Pulls a skink in for the assist. So that was normally in a block you compare strengths. So the SARS had a strength of 4. The player being blocked had a strength of 3. If you have, if the strength is tied, you roll 1 block die. If one of the strengths is greater, you roll 2 block dice. And if one of the strengths is more than double than the other one, you roll 3 block dice. Whoever has the greater strength gets to choose the result of from that pool of dice. But you also get assists, right? So in this case, normally it was a 4v3, but every mark you have on the other player gives you a +1. So this was a +1, making it, boy, that didn't look like a 1 at all, does it? A +1, so that made it, we'll just calculate this down here, 4 to 4. He brought the skink in to get the +1, and that brought it up to a 5 to 4. That's a 2-die block. He had the greater number, so he got to decide the die roll. $12 seconds left on the clock here in turn number 2. 2-die block against Captain Cutler. This will be a stand firm push. Staying right where he is. He sees all those skinks. He says, no sir, I'm not scared of you. Nobody left in the secondary really for Philosopher's Song. Conspicuous Disunion turn 3 now. They have the ball on their own 6-yard line. Deacon Carlswell goes the long way around to take a mark on Aristotle. There's 2 marks on Aristotle. It's currently a 3-die block by Mr. Wickles. Here it is. Gets the POW. Looking for an 8+. Got the 8+. Good removal here. Very well done. 2-man player advantage now for Conspicuous Disunion. That skink is asking to see the fans. 5v2 means it's a 3-die block. 5v2 in strength, that is. Conspicuous Disunion. Pulling it a little tight with this offense here. 2-die blitz by Big Bob Oakley into double pals against the journeyman Skink. Gets no armor break. Has to follow up due to frenzy. And now a 2-die against Descartes. Gets a dodge push out of this. Two of the, what I would argue are the most core skills in the game of Blood Bowl are block and dodge. Block allows you to treat the both down result, like that right there, those both down results would allow you to not be knocked down on that. Null turn for Philosopher's Song. They have no rerolls left. The block skill would allow you to remain standing on that result. The dodge skill allows you to remain standing and just get pushed back on a defender stumbles result. That's the exclamation point on the block die. But it also allows you to re-roll a failed dodge. Two of the most important skills in the game, I think. When a player has both, you'll often hear them referred to as a blodger, block and dodge. You can see Socrates here is a blodger. And that means, barring some other skills that negate one of these skills, there's only one face on the block die that's going to knock down Socrates, and that's the pal. It's a 1 in 6 on a block die that will knock down the skink, the blodger skink. Ball's going to advance to the opposing 4-yard line now. A werewolf to the front, a flesh golem to the back. The zombie of Mr. Hyde going to fill in the screen here behind Mr. Wickles, the ball carrier. 2-die block against Socrates. Got that pal. No armor break. Now the blitz by the Wraith. 2-die blitz on Descartes gets a push. Remember, the Wraith has foul appearance. Here's the block by the Werewolf. Wanted a push out of this. Wanted to get the surf on Descartes, but we'll get the stun instead. That's not too bad. Block on the number 7 journeyman on the right side. El Numerino with the sub. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Appreciate you spending the sub here and hanging out with us and playing and having a good time. Turn 4, final turn of the first quarter now for Philosopher's Song. And being prepared for Masters of the Universe. Minute 16 left in the first quarter here. Philosopher's Song with no rerolls left, finding themselves on the right side of this offensive pocket. Failed rush into a Kaz. Nuffle, why? Nuffle, please. Nuffle, why have you forsaken me? Expire has not been praying enough to Nuffle. Hank the Ranger graciously lowered the rush failure rate from the rule book. 900%. We talked about this earlier tonight. 900% failure rate, down to a paltry, really a pittance of 99%. Very gracious of Hank the Ranger. 3 removals from the pitch. 2-man player advantage for Conspicuous Disunion. 2-9 block against Nietzsche gets a push here. Those wraiths can be a real nuisance if you have to block them away, or if you roll a 1 on the foul appearance roll that you don't actually get to. 2-9 block on the number 7 Journeyman, way over in the right wide zone. Gets a push. Good mark over here by against Wittgenstein. This is a 1v1. Wittgenstein's going nowhere. Again, unless you're a skink on a lizard team, your edge is 5+. You're not going anywhere if you're marked unless the blitz is spent. Block on Nietzsche gets a dodge push out of this. Conspicuous Disunion on the bonus clock for the first time this evening. They have a Flesh Golem and their Werewolf, their ball carrier to activate. They're going to move the ball 1 space forward. That might be the end of the turn. And indeed it is. Second quarter begins now for Philosophers song. A rough start to this game for this team. But they don't actually tell you in the rule book. They really should. I wrote to Games Workshop about this. It's really, I mean, it's something that players should know. So, like, you'll read the rule book, you'll open up the box, you'll read the rule book, you'll know how to play. But what coaches really don't understand when they get a new base set of Blood Bowl, you're supposed to take the box pieces, and you're supposed to take the board and the book, and you're supposed to set up an altar to Nuffle. And then you're supposed to start praying immediately to Nuffle. That's a requirement of the game. If you don't do that, you're not going to win because it's a requirement. It's just in the rules. But well, it's in the rules of the game as Nuffle demands. But Games Workshop just doesn't put it in the rule book for some reason. Good 3+ dodge here by Nietzsche. Well, kind of a good one. Failed the dodge. Succeeded on the free dodge reroll. Topple skulls against Captain Cutler. And a stun on Heidegger. Cord Knight says praying to Nuffle makes no difference. Nuffle hates us all equally. Indeed, and praise his name. 2-9 block against the number 6 Journeyman. This works out due to the block skill. Cosgood creeps on the block. Electric Smith says, oh no, a lot of my box set is still in the box. Well, there you go. You gotta set up the Nuffle altar. Three-die block on Descartes here. Gets a push out of this, looking for the surf. There it is. Well done, Mr. Wickles on the block. Mr. Wickles going to end up on the sideline. Good removal on the surf. I think that skink. Oh, looking a little. What's the word I want? Polygonal? No, that's not the word. Oh, I know what the word is. I believe the word is flat. That's Nuffle's Pancakes flattening of the day. When I'm down, I need something both delicious and nutritious to get me back on my feet.
This injury brought to you by Nuffle's Pancakes. When you take a hit and feel licked, try the sweet and savory flavor of Nuffle's Pancakes. Grab your butter and get back into the game with this Overlord's signature second breakfast. For nearly 3,000 years, this piping hot surprise has been healing hearts and mending breaks. Nuffle's Pancakes. Buy one, get 3 while supplies last.
Just the way Mom used to make 11 random ingredients. Delicious. Turn 6 now for Philosopher's Song. Failed dodge here by Nietzsche. Succeeds on the blitz, looking to surf this ball carrier. That will do it. Well done. Left the werewolf on the sideline on the block. Didn't spend the blitz on the werewolf. This werewolf is being sent off the pitch. Where's the ball going to come back onto the pitch? Very well done by Spire. Oh boy, where's it ended up? It's going way down pitch. Not where Spire wants it to be, but still might have an opportunity. It's got to go running. Yeah, got to mark Big Bob Oakley to keep him from getting on the ball. Big Bob Oakley, I believe, in scoring position. Indeed. Core Knight says, how random? Like a 2D6 random or a 1D12 random? It's up to... Really, the pancakes are made by Nuffle's will. It's really up to Nuffle. Turn 7 for Conspicuous Disunion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They could blitz here to free up the wolf. 3-die blitz. That's enough. We'll get a push out of this. Shout outs to Von Rue, by the way, for the ad spot. Very much appreciated. I think it's great. Good pickup here. Is he going to try to score, though, is the question. It's going to hang out outside the end zone. On the 24-yard line, Big Bob Oakley in possession of the ball. Made Nuffle punish him for stalling. Takes a mark on the number 6 journeyman. Here's the block. Gets a pal here. Big pal. Cuts the movement of this journeyman down to only being able to mark the ball carrier now. 3-die block on Nietzsche. Gets a both down result. Hoping it worked out on the trade, but again, removing 3 MA from Nietzsche means Nietzsche is not even in the picture now. Turn 7 for Philosopher's Song. The only player who can take a swing at the ball carrier right now is the number 7 journeyman. Festoon, thank you very much for the bits. No rerolls left. There's just one skink that stands between Big Bob Oakley and a touchdown. Well, and perhaps the number 6 lineman. He could take a mark. Failed the dodge. Gets a free reroll with the dodge skill. Failed the rush. Failed the rush. Can't take the mark. That's a turnover. Turn 8 for Conspicuous Disunion. Are they going to take some blocks first before they walk this ball into the end zone? They've got, they've got a block on this skink. Why not try to remove another player? Gets a push out of it. There's the score. Very well done. Conspicuous Disunion takes the lead in this ball game 1-0. You need to maybe not drool so much, my man. I think that's a medical condition. 1-0, the score. Conspicuous Disunion in the lead. 1 turn left in this first half, unless there's a timeout. And if there is, you can bet these skinks, these lizards can score. Defense set up 3 on the line, spread wide. Now the Lizards to set up their offense. 7 on the line. Would you look at that? Nuffle provides a timeout given. Philosopher's Song can now score. Armor break by the Crocs gets a stun. 2-die on the zombie of Mr. Hyde looking for a 9+. Big knockdown on the zombies with only an MA of 4. That's going to take him out for the rest of the drive. Blitz on the left side of the defense here. Gets the knockdown thanks to the block skill. And an armor break. Gets a removal. We'll see if that sticks for the second half. Wittgenstein's coming for you. The defense is going to have to screen out this skink. Good pickup. There he goes. A handoff to Descartes. Fails the handoff. The ball's going to end up on the opposing 4-yard line. I don't think anybody can get there, can he? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, he can. I mean, there's still a chance. There's still a chance. I've seen crazier. A mark on Wittgenstein. A mark on Heidegger. Three marks on Heidegger. You think he's scared? He's not scared. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz. That's not going to cut it. Reroll's going to be spent here. Got the pal. Gets the knockdown. No armor break. That's going to leave it all up to Wittgenstein. He can do it. I believe in him. He can do it. 6s happen. He can do it. Stop rushing. 900%. Turn 8 now for Philosopher's Song. Deciding to take the block instead. I think Wittgenstein could have done it. I think he could have been the hero. Took the block with Wittgenstein. The 2-die block. Gets the knockdown. Here's the blitz. 2-die blitz on Cosgood. Creeps. Gets a pal here. Really hoping for an armor break. Trying to even the score here going into the second half. Doesn't work out. Two assists for a potential foul on Big Bob Oakley. It's going to bring the effective AV down to 7, now down to 6. Here it is. 6+ breaks armor. 7+ breaks armor. Doesn't get it. Well, he broke armor, but only got a stun out of it. Didn't get called off the pitch, though. Second half's going to begin. Again, Philosopher's Song does not get back their KOs. Conspicuous Disunion in the lead. They'll be on defense. If this Lizard team has anything going for it, I mean, these skinks are very, very fast. In the game of Blood Bowl, when you set up for a kickoff, you have to put at least 3 in these 7 squares here. You can put a max of 2 in either of these rectangles here. What a beautiful rectangle I draw. Then everything else is fair game. One thing to keep in mind is once you get a kicker on your roster, they can't go in those 7 squares on the line, and they can't go into the wide zone. Well, they can, but if you put them there, you can't use their kick skills. So you want to make sure they're not on the line. You want to make sure they're not in the wide zone. 3 on the defensive line, 4 on the offensive line with the Crocs in that left guard position. Here's the kick. Deep kick. Ball's, the weather's going to remain the same. Ball kicked all the way back to the end zone, just inside the right wide zone. Turn 9 now for Philosopher's Song. They're down 0-1. They have their 2 rerolls back. Thank Nuffle for that. They lost both rerolls early in the first half. 2-die block on the right defensive end. Gets a knockdown here. Gets an armor break. Nothing out of it. Three-man player advantage for the Necro team. Brings in the assist for the 3-die block on the zombie of Mr. Hyde. Gets a POW out of this. 8+ with Mighty Blow will break armor. There's the armor break. Yeah, that's gonna hurt you, I think. Down to a 1-man player. No, a 2-man player advantage. It's 8, right? 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 11 versus 10. 2-man player advantage for Philosopher. Boy, for Conspicuous Disunion. 2-die blitz on Minor 49er gets a push here. So this half not shaping up the way the first half shaped up for Philosopher's Song. Good pickup here. Really don't want to fail that pickup. Not when it's on a sideline or on an end zone like that, because who knows where the ball is going to get thrown back in. Turn 9 now for Conspicuous Disunion. I think the Ranger says regen is a fake skill tonight. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. .40 seconds into the turn. Blitz on the right side on the skink. The journeyman failed the rush. 900%. Spends a reroll, gets a POW out of this. No armor break. I heard the most ridiculous thing the other day. I'll tell you, but I mean, you're going to think it's ridiculous too. But somebody actually told me with a straight face that rushes only fail 1/6 of the time. Absurd. Absurd. 1/6 of the time. Get out of here. Do you not know how probability works? Do you not know how dice work? Turn 10. 2-die blitz over on the left side here against the caveman. Here's an armor break. Now getting the armor breaks. Gets a stun here. Two-die block against Deacon Creeper Carswell. Gets a push. He'll stand firm more than likely. Yes, indeed. Fails the boneheaded roll on the Crocs. So the Crocs' Negatrait is boneheaded before they activate the roll of D6. On a 1, they not only lose their activation, but they lose their tackle zones. That can be a big, big loss. I run a human team. I have an ogre. Ogres have boneheaded as well. And often I just won't take an activation with the ogre. Because if that ogre is anchoring my formation, and I lose that ogre, now my formation crumbles. So I need to make sure that the tackle zones are still there. So you have to, and I'm not saying this was a bad block at all, but just more generally, You have to learn to play around the nega traits of your big guys if you're gonna field them, because usually they'll have nega traits. Mummies are an exception on an undead team. And just broadly speaking, just you want to avoid rolling dice when you don't have to. Conspicuous Disunion taking a block on the number 6 Journeyman back at the line of scrimmage, but only gets a push out of this. And now the blitz on number 6 is a pal this time. 8+ is not a lot, but no armor break. Journeymen are linemen you have to take on your roster when you can't field a full 11. They are your normal linemen, except they have the loner nega trait, which means if you want to spend a team reroll on them, you have to roll a d6. You have to spend the reroll first, then you roll a d6. On a 4+, you actually get to do the reroll. Otherwise, you lose the reroll. So you're often not rolling dice on your journeyman until the end of your turn. Number 6 journeyman stands back up on the line of scrimmage. Still all the action at the line of scrimmage. Philosopher's Song keeping that ball. Failed the boneheaded roll again. So the Crocs is just going to kind of stare off into space, keeping that ball well protected all the way back on Philosopher's Song's own 22-yard line. Another armor break, this time on the Wraith. Wow. How Philosopher's Song's fortunes have flipped here. Now a one-man player advantage for Conspicuous Disunion. Gets a push on the other Wraith over on the right side. Wraiths have sidestep, so Chime gets to decide where the Wraith goes, and it doesn't have to be back and be in any adjacent open space. Advances a skink forward, keeps the ball back on the 22. Turn 11 now for Conspicuous Disunion. Not seeing an opportunity to keep this ball safe going forward yet. And now Conspicuous Disunion is going to move Minor 49er through the offensive line to take a mark on the number 7 Journeyman. Back on the right side of the pitch, the number 6 Journeyman is going to be knocked down by Cosvid Creeps. And now a 3-die block. The number 7 Journeyman is going to get knocked down. The number 6 Journeyman is about to be knocked down. And by knockdown, I mean a push. Boy, I'm really paying attention, aren't I? 2-die block again on the Journeyman. Is going to stay standing here on the push. Still has another block on this Journeyman that just does not want to go down. Oh. I don't know if the reroll is going to be spent here or not. We'll see. Going to take both down. And doesn't work out on the trade. So the Wolf's going to stay on the pitch, but the Wolf got stunned. Triple skulls here. Triple both down result. Decides not to spend the last reroll of the game. And the Werewolf gets stunned. Turn 12 now for Philosopher's Song. Well, still quite a ways away from the line of scrimmage. I don't know if they're going to be able to capitalize on this stun. Are you kidding? Bruce! Bruce! You're a professional. You're playing a game right now, buddy. You've got to pay attention. Take it from me. 2-die block against the number 2 Flesh Golem. Gets a POW out of this. Chime deciding whether to stand firm here or not. If he stands firm, he's eating another block. Decides to stand firm and be knocked. Oh, he's not eating. My goodness. It's been a long day. He's not eating another block. He's getting knocked down. Bruce. This is all your fault, Bruce. And now a mark taken on number 13, Mr. Wickles. Bruce is my MVP. Nuffle has loved me so far. Good dodge here. And now 2-die block on Cosgood creeps over in the right wide zone. Gets a pow. 24 seconds left in turn 12 for Philosopher's Song. Both teams with one reroll remaining. Final turn of the third quarter coming up. Conspicuous Disunion starting to lose some players now. They have a one-man player advantage. They have a fairly slow team, save for the werewolf and the wraiths with an MA of 6. The werewolves are fast with an MA of 8. 2-die spends the reroll here into a push. Conspicuous Disunion with no rerolls left for the game. Two-die against the number 7 Journeyman. Takes the both down, hoping for the trade. Again, the trade does not work in favor of this Necro team. Tried to take out this Journeyman Skink. The Flesh Golem is going to be stunned. Minute 37 left on the clock here as we begin the fourth and final quarter of this game. And now the ball's going to move forward. It moves all the way up to Philosopher's Song's own 6-yard line. Two-die block against Mr. Wickles. Got the POW here. This could be a huge loss for Conspicuous Disunion. No armor break. The Caveman. Would have been a turnover. Spends the final reroll. Gets a POW here. No rerolls left for anyone. The odds on actions now. Dramatically different. Two-die block on Cosgood creeps. Gets a push. Cosgood creeps. Yep, probably going to the left side here. Or sidestepping to the left. Electric Span says, I will never understand why the yard lines run backwards. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Repositioning Heidegger on the blitz. Failed dodge on the right side. Free dodge reroll works out. Marks Space Kook as well as the Witch Doctor. I also don't know why they're like in increments of 2. I would just do them in 1. Repositioning Descartes down pitch. Successfully dodges the number 6 Journeyman out of the tackle zone of the Witch Doctor. Turn 13 for Conspicuous Disunion. Blitz on the downfield. Skink. Descartes gets a push out of this. You cannot take these skinks down. El Numerito with the lore. You can't fit a Crocs in a 3x3 square, so it has to be 2 yards per square. Conspicuous Disunion now. And he's shoved aside. This is very quickly going to be a game about speed. No pun intended. 2-die block against the number 5 Saris Hegel. These werewolves have to get repositioned, and you have to imagine Spire's well aware of this. Mark on the ball carrier currently. Remember, no rerolls left for anyone. A free reroll on the dodge skill by these skinks. They all have the dodge skill. Oh, failed the dodge on Big Bob Oakley. Turn 14 back to Philosopher's Song. The defense falling apart. Significant dodges to take there with that 3+, with no rerolls left. It's so risky. But those werewolves have to get back into play. 2-die block in the left wide zone gets the knockdown on the caveman. Philosopher's Song playing for a draw. They're currently in first place. A draw will put them up to 8 points. There'll be a 3-point difference between first and second place. Conspicuous Disunion with a draw. They'll bump up into 6th place. Ball's going to shift all the way over to the right wide zone. Look how fast these skinks are. A half gauge just inside the left wide zone now. Repositioning Wittgenstein to take a mark on Cosgood Creeps on the right side. Now 2-die block against the Witch Doctor. Gets a knockdown here. Takes the zombie out of the equation. Philosopher's Song on the bonus clock. Neither coach is availing themselves of the bonus clock here in this game. They've had very efficient turns. Repositions the blitzer to get in front of Captain Cutler. The prone flesh golem over on the right side of the line. 2-die block by the Crocs gets a push against Deacon Carlswell, the number 2 flesh golem on the left side of the line. Good 3+ dodge by Descartes, still marked. Failed the dodge this time, but gets the reroll. Hasn't spent the reroll yet. Failed the reroll and knocked out. Oh boy, all right. Turn 14 for Conspicuous Disunion. Two rushes, a dodge and 2 rushes, I think, gets them on the ball, but then they don't get the frenzy follow-up. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. And then the rush for 2, they wouldn't get the follow-up block. See the skink just 1 space out of scoring position. 8. Wow! Potentially a great removal here, but it's getting late in the half. It might not make much of a difference. Who's gonna stop the skink? Big Bob Oakley gonna get Russian position forward of the ball carrier, but marked by the number 6 journeyman. Turn 15 for Philosopher's Song. One space away from scoring, unless they hand off to the journeyman. They wouldn't dare, though. Good 3+ dodge. 2 rushes outside the end zone. Nietzsche the ball carrier. Big Bob Oakley still in position, but marked himself. 2 die on Cosgood creeps. Gets a knockdown here. Gets to reposition the Saurus blocker here. Plenty of movement left with the blitzer. Really only one shot. There's 2 opportunities here, but probably takes the blitz with Big Bob Oakley, which means Big Bob Oakley is going to, or Spire is going to try to take Big Bob Oakley out of the equation. Imagine we'll see a dodge to get in front of the werewolf. We do not. Takes a dodge to go after number 13. Oh, I didn't even see number 13. Is he in position? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn 15 for Conspicuous Disunion. If they're going to win this game, they need to stop the score right here. The mark to negate the assist from Wittgenstein. No rerolls left. It's a 3+ dodge. I think he's going to try to block away the number 6 lineman. There it is. Oh, no! Wow! Philosopher's Song will walk the ball in here to tie the ball game. It is not over yet. Well done by Spire. And still no chaos. Roll triple skulls on the block. That was the right decision. But alas, didn't work out. 1 turn left in this ball game. If there is a timeout, Conspicuous Disunion can win this game. Just 7 on the pitch for the defense. 3 on the line, of course. 10 on the pitch for the offense. 3-man player advantage. Gotta put probably one of these werewolves on the line somewhere. Hoping for the timeout. And there it is. It's going to be Big Bob Oakley with the opportunity to score, provided there's a timeout. Kelpstor BB says, scribbles notes. Don't take both downs via spider skinks. Here's the kick. Needs a timeout. Doesn't get it. 1-1 is going to be the score of this game. What a great game this was. Nothing to do here but to try to pick up some SPP. very hard fought game. Philosopher's Song, it seemed doomed right from the beginning, but then their fortunes changed in the second half of this ball game. They still had a real tough fight, and Chime absolutely made them fight for it. But they were able to get in the end zone and score late in the half. And they're gonna eke out a 1-1 draw here. Three-die block on the journeyman, looking for 2 SPP. Blitz on Niche coming. Well, he's got an AV of 9 now. Well, it doesn't matter if you got a wolf. You can't take him down. Frenzy follow-up coming up. There it is. There's the pal. Looking for the 8+ still. There's the 8+. Ah! You've killed Western philosophy! Murdered Nietzsche! Tried to pass for another point of SPP, but couldn't do it. That's the ball game. 1-1. The final. And Philosopher's Song's going to remain in first place. They pick up 1 additional point here. They're 2-2-0, still undefeated. Just 3 points away from second place. That would be S Beavers, Wooden Men, and Iron Trees. Very well fought game. All 3 games tonight is... Well done, El Numerino. 3 really well played games tonight. And these were fantastic matches. They were super fun to watch, super well played. I think all 6 coaches tonight should be very proud. Oh, She-Wolf 777. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was very exciting. I think it was very well fought by everyone. And thanks again for your follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, like very well played. And there's a lot more games to go. We'll take a look at the schedule before we leave. Rudeness. Oh, thank you very much, She-Wolf. I appreciate it. Thank you. And again, thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate you. And I appreciate everyone who plays, who watches. I just love this game so much. That's good. We have 2 more games here in week 4. 3 more games, but 2 more aired games. We're going to have a doubleheader this Sunday, March 9th at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's that on Sunday. That's going to be UTC -4. Keep that in mind. On Sunday, we change over to EDT. My software, I did not build it to put that time in appropriately, but it'll be EDT, so it'll be UTC -4. We're gonna get that doubleheader started with Wooden Men and Iron Trees versus Vesuvian Lavabacks, S Beaver versus Berserker Tempest. That will be Wood Elves versus Lizardmen, and then immediately following that game on Sunday, we're gonna have the Dream of Wish Foundation versus the Discomancers, Nick Satan versus Ian. That will be Halflings versus Necro. That'll be super duper fun as well. And that'll do it for week 5, for week 4, after which the coaches will begin scheduling their games for week 5. And when those games get scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to that schedule on our website at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky X and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. In fact, there you go. You can also come hang out in our Discord channel. We have the schedules and the rankings there, and we talk about Blood Bowl and really whatever we want. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game is so crazy fun. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store until Sunday, March 9th at 9:00 p.m. EDT. Again, that's UTC -4. Take care, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. And we'll see you this Sunday. Have a good Thursday evening.